It is unfortunate, but I have to say this in national interest. Former minister exposes Buhari with stunning revelations on live TV. Oh boy, and this is on Channels TV. So that means there are a lot of atrocities that have gone under Buhari's administration that will be fizzling out gradually, and people will be seeing them, and people will be speaking out from time to time. But let's hear what this man has to say about Buhari's administration. This is a breaking news. It is unfortunate, but I have to say this in national interest. This Buhari's minister is speaking. Former Minister of Communication Adebayo Shittu, has stated that ex-President Muhammadu Buhari rarely provided direct oversight to his cabinet members. Speaking on Channels Television Politics Today program on Wednesday, Shittu emphasized that President Bola Tinubu's administration should take a lesson from the previous government and focus on improving the coordination and supervision of ministers. Now, during a 3-day cabinet retreat at the State House Conference Center in Abuja, Tinubu urged all his 48 ministers to fulfill their responsibilities effectively or face removal. In response to the president's directive, Shittu commended Tinubu for applying pressure on his cabinet ministers to perform. He also advised the president not to hesitate in removing ineffective ministers. Reflecting on his own tenure as a minister from November 2015 to May 2019, Shittu stated that replacing a minister is not a complex task, as a suitable replacement can be found from the same state as the dismissed official. Shittu added Buhari did not issue direct threat to anyone. As I mentioned, Buhari has his own style and Tinubu has his own style as well. What I do know of Buhari, with all due respect to him, is that he is a more reserved person. He is one person who gives you job with due respect to him, and he rarely asks you how you are going about it. It is unfortunate, but I have to say this in national interest so that government coming after him will learn lessons. Once you are there, you are there. So in Buhari's government, if you don't go and meet him for the next 4 years, he probably would not ask of you. Can you imagine? That means that he was not competent. He didn't know what to do to run the government. And that is exactly why the amount of corruption that took place in his government took place. It's a weakness. Not being able to provide oversight supervision on your ministers or people reporting to you on your subordinate is a leadership weakness. That is to tell you that he was not prepared. He was not even himself, so he didn't know what was going on. Okay, that was why the corruption that went under his government, people have said even his antecedent, when he was the military head of state with Ideagbon, Ideagbon was practically in charge. When he was given PTDF portfolio, he didn't know what was happening there. That is the truth. So the same thing that happened played out when he became president, civilian president for 8 years. He also did not know what was going on. Quite unfortunate situation, I must tell you. So, but Tinubu knowing what is going on, is he doing a national interest? We'll look at all his policies. Is he doing them correctly? One thing is not to know like Buhari, and that is to know but not taking the right action, and that is not allowing your selfish interest to becloud you are or supersede the national interest. Okay, so there are several issues or several ways to look at this issue. Very, very, very bad, I tell you. So every Wednesday, people bring their memos and they are debated and all of that. Okay, but put in terms of policy formulation and supervision, we really did have such things, and I am happy that President Tinubu is trying to do things differently. So in his statement today, that is a sign that he, Tinubu, wants to do things differently. What I think he needs to add to it is to create transparent, quantifiable milestones for each ministry. Okay, so that is what he's trying to get Tinubu from. So the oversight that Buhari never had for his administration is what Tinubu is trying to show, that he has that oversight. People are already reacting. Somebody say useless talk. When when the deed is already done? What are you talking? Rather. And somebody say, have you accepted Jesus? Okay, no, that is different. Somebody say, medicine after death. Buhari, na something else, I tell you. Somebody say, the useless ministers was sacked during Buhari for non-performance. Abi? The Shittu himself was sacked by Buhari's administration for non-performance. And so this threat is coming this time again. And he's trying to say, to commend Tinubu against Buhari. Some say, no, sir, he was not sacked. Okay? Who was sacked, okay? Tell us. Quite unfortunate statement coming from Shittu. The ministers under Buhari performed with or without little supervision. Their projects and legacies, okay, could be seen here and there without aid of a binocular. What are you talking? Which legacy did Buhari and his government leave behind? Legacy of criminology and stealing. What are you talking? Legacy of banditry, violence, Fulani herdsmen killings, Boko Haram and ISWAP activities. Those are the legacies that Buhari government left. So it says it was Al Sudani from Niger, okay, who knew nothing about Nigeria. He couldn't supervise ministers. That's what Shittu is saying. Wow. Someone say, may God Almighty and this and thunder from heaven, okay, fire this minister. Buhari government that put Nigeria in this hardship we are today. Sycophants, even with the free and careless hand in Buhari's administration, what did you do better in the Ministry of Communication? Nothing. Buhari is not gone yet. The tribulation of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu will bring him back to the front discussion soon. Wow. So that is it. Shittu is now trying to reveal that Buhari did he have the capacity to supervise his ministers, to supervise anybody in his cabinet. That if you don't go to him, okay, for the next 4 years, Buhari will not come to you. And that is incompetence, frankly speaking. So, but what Tinubu is doing does not make him more competent as well, because he's continuing from where Buhari stopped, though might employ different strategy. Okay, so it's not about following. One thing is to follow up, and another thing is to follow up correctly. So the policies that Tinubu is bringing to the table, how good has that affected Nigerians? How good has that been to everybody? That we don't know, because right now everybody is feeling terribly very bad in this administration. It's getting so bad that people can't help the situation anymore. Even the ones that voted Tinubu, that supported from the beginning, most of them are crying now. That's how bad it is. So thank you for listening, and let's have your comment for sharing.